Good evening. I am Kaylin Waltney, and this evening I will be talking to you about something that is very important to me, journaling. So why journal? Let's start with the reason. The modern influences on millennials are a real issue. Media, technology, modern economics, and the modern education system are all very powerful influences that the generation before us did not experience. That's excluding this wonderful couple over here, of course. And I really liked this quote by Michael Care from Healthline. In the United States, even though it's not a happy topic, suicide is the second leading cause of death among people aged 15 to 34 years. Among adults aged 18 to 25 years, 8.3% have had serious thoughts of suicide. This is not the only thing that is coming up from the modern influences. Also, we have depression, self-obsession, and bitterness coming up. We need to try journaling. It's easy to be lazy with our thoughts. It helps us, but journaling helps us actively improve our viewpoint. Each of you, by picking up a pen and pulling out the piece of paper, can grab this opportunity to become an advocate for yourself and live a freer life and think more deeply on a regular basis. So why? I think journaling is cool, obviously, but we should have some facts to back it up. So, journaling helps us examine our lives more objectively. We always, in our head, think more emotionally or subjectively, but when we put it down on paper, it helps us observe it as it is, and not necessarily influenced by our biases. Journal writing is a voyage to the interior, and I quote Christina Baldwin, an author and advocate of journaling. She's also a counselor. And then also, journaling helps us get the thoughts down. Wait, back one. So, we function daily through feelings, thoughts, and behaviors in that order. And journaling helps us get to the root, which are our thoughts. And back to the next slide, which is something that you might find on Google. And I looked it up. There are so many of these. It's the triangle of thought, feelings, and behavior. And they all interact, but the root is thoughts. Journaling is also explorative. Journaling is also explorative. It helps us think about personal beliefs, maybe grapple with tough questions, moral questions, maybe like a big decision at your job. It also helps us process grief and loss, like when we lost a loved one or even gone through a really bad breakup. It also helps us grapple with hard facts like mortality, which if you haven't, that's a good one to think about. And although we can see the good results, wait, what if it doesn't work? Because everything has its pitfalls. And I will recognize that it has some problems with it. And it can pull you inward. It can keep you in your head. Maybe make you a passive observer instead of somebody who's actively involved in relationships and in what you're doing. It's easy to put the blame game into that situation and just write out all the terrible things you think about everybody else and not actually examine yourself and your problems. It also can increase self-obsession because you're constantly in a conversation with yourself. It's an open door to wallow in the mud of your own negativity. And to quote Stephen Stosny from Psychology Today, he refers to journaling, "In general, it is likely to hurt if it tries to help you know yourself in isolation, and helps if it leads to a greater understanding and behavior change in interactions with others." So it seems pretty difficult. Why bother? Why bother if it's so hard? But remember, things like this happen when we go into them blindly. And if we think about the pitfalls first, we can possibly remedy that. I have a term for you, self-advocacy. That is a big thing that you can do with journaling. Because, and not in the self-love kind of way where you're just helping yourself all the time, but instead, you're making an active effort to turn your life, your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors in a positive direction. And we all can use this opportunity. So choose to turn those situations around. How about learn? What could you learn? Maybe you could grow, learn a new skill, grow in character and confidence. Maybe change. We've all been wrong at one point. So maybe it's your turn to say, I'm sorry, or say, whoa, I need to shape up. Writing puts it down on paper and says, hey, let's do something about it. So, bringing it to a close, I want to share a quote with you by Sherry R. Klein, a teacher. She took several students of hers and had them write down some of the things that they had ambitions for. And she made a discovery. Journaling, and I quote, offers students opportunities to arrive at deeper self-understanding and self-awareness. So yes, it may help you think inwardly a little bit more, but can also make you more aware of who you are and the way you're thinking. So we've covered that it's easy to write it out, but not so easy to stay positive. But it's important to make an effort to go in that direction. And then we've also covered that making an effort is so important. But there are challenges to this. We need to remember that refusing to examine our thoughts, journaling aside, can result in bitterness, bad thought patterns, bad behaviors like maybe an eating disorder or addiction to alcohol or drugs. And if we don't examine our thoughts, which influence the emotions and behaviors, we may end up wondering why we're in this position, but it may just be because we never examined them. We are ultimately responsible for us. I love this quote. Remember, it's not your fault. So what happens in your life, maybe your situations, they're not always your fault. What happens to you, accidents, they're not always your fault. But they are your responsibility. And how you respond is very important. Any questions? Nope? All right.